In the annals of my youth, there lies a chapter that casts a shadow of intrigue and suspense, a memory etched with the ink of mystery. It was during those tender years, when the tapestry of life was woven with the threads of curiosity and uncertainty, that an adventure unfolded, carrying me to a beachside escape. At the age of 12 or 13, the world shimmered with unexplored territory and boundless possibilities. On a weekend, a canvas of opportunity stretched before me, adorned with the company of my mother, stepfather, and our loyal companions, 2 dogs whose playful spirits mirrored the rolling waves of the ocean. The destination was a quaint apartment nestled far from the bustling shoreline, a tranquil haven that held the promise of relaxation and bonding. Our temporary abode, though seemingly ordinary, harbored a secret allure. The back of the shore cradled our retreat, where the salt-kissed breeze whispered stories of untold adventures. Unpacking our belongings, we set the stage for a weekend filled with shared laughter and cherished moments. The evening sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of tangerine and indigo across the sky. As darkness draped the world, we embarked on a culinary journey, savoring the flavors of the local cuisine. Replete with warmth and the aroma of good food, we returned to our haven, the clock inching toward 9 in the evening. The apartment, though modest, brimmed with the essence of togetherness. My mother, stepfather, and our furry companions claimed the couch-turned bed as their refuge, forming a familial tableau that exuded comfort. And I, a young voyager in the realm of adulthood, was bestowed the privilege of a bedroom adorned with a king-sized bed. Yet, this tale takes a turn into the realm of the enigmatic. As the night descended, I sought solace in the world of games, navigating digital landscapes that mirrored the untamed waves just beyond our window. Hours unfurled, and the allure of virtual adventures held me in their thrall. But in the quiet hours when the world slumbered, a disconcerting stillness settled over the room. It was as if the air itself held its breath, leaving me attuned to every subtle shift. Then, a sigh, a sound that transcended the realm of the mundane, punctuated the silence. A surge of adrenaline coursed through me, my heart's rhythm echoing the tempo of suspense that had taken root within me. The sigh, like an echo from the hidden recesses of the night, bore a weight that transcended its simplicity. It was a sound imbued with an energy that defied explanation, its origin shrouded in uncertainty. The sigh was not a product of my parents' breaths or the gentle slumber of our canine companions. The living room door, a mere step away, stood as a barrier against the unknown, its boundaries reinforced by my mounting fear. Bolting from my bed, I sought refuge in the bedroom across the hall, my heart hammering in my chest like a captive creature yearning to escape. The unknown had woven its tendrils around my consciousness, suffusing my thoughts with a chilling realization that this was a moment beyond the ordinary. As the hours ebbed away, sleep remained an elusive muse, a wraith that danced just beyond my grasp. With the break of dawn, a hesitant light filtering through the curtains, I mustered the courage to confide in my parents. My words carried the weight of authenticity, a story woven from the fabric of my emotions. Their responses danced on a spectrum of skepticism and reassurance, their attempts to quell my fears tinged with explanations that attributed the incident to the realm of imagination. Yet, my conviction held steady, a resolute belief that what I had experienced surpassed the boundaries of mere fancy. As days turned into weeks, that night remained an enigma, a puzzle piece of the uncanny lodged within the corridors of my memory. The apartment, once a refuge of rest, now carried an air of mystery that transcended its physicality. It served as a reminder that even in the realm of the familiar, the unexplained could slip through the cracks, leaving an indelible mark. In the tapestry of my life, that chapter remains a testament to the dance between the mundane and the mystifying. The uncertainties that punctuated that night remain unresolved, their echoes rippling through my thoughts even as time marches on. The beachside escape, once a beacon of relaxation, now bears the imprint of the enigmatic, a testament to the fact that beneath the veneer of everyday existence lies a current of mystery that can beckon us into its depths. In the depths of my psyche, there exists a tale that traverses the boundaries of reality and nightmarish imagining, a story that haunts my thoughts to this very day. It was a chapter etched in the canvas of my memories during a sojourn in North Carolina, a land of unfamiliarity and impending decisions. The purpose of my journey was a job interview, a golden opportunity that beckoned me to a new chapter of my life. My gracious friend, Mike extended his hospitality, offering his home as a sanctuary during my stay. The distance from his abode to the potential workplace was not a mere stone's throw. It spanned a significant 2-hour journey. Yet, the allure of reconnecting with a dear friend and the prospect of celebrating my newfound job prospect intertwined in a harmonious symphony. The narrative unfurls against the backdrop of my second interview, a pivotal juncture that promised to steer the course of my career. Emerging from the meeting, I was a victor, having secured the position on the spot. Jubilation coursed through my veins as I returned to Mike's haven, a realm where joy found expression under the velvet embrace of the night. The yard transformed into a haven of mirth and camaraderie as friends converged to celebrate this shared victory. The elation flowed as freely as the libations, and laughter danced upon the breeze. The night burgeoned with life as we reveled in each other's company, surrendering to the euphoria and letting our guards down, perhaps more than we should have. As the clock neared the witching hour of 4 in the morning, the curtain fell on our nocturnal celebrations, and the remnants of the revelry retreated into the night. Alone with my thoughts, I embarked on the ascent to my room, my inebriated state a testament to the night's festivities. The stairs presented a formidable challenge, their incline mirrored in the struggle to maintain my equilibrium. Within the confines of the bathroom, I sought refuge from the dizzying whirl of the night. The mirror reflected the countenance of someone who had imbibed a little too much, but the heat of the water provided comfort, lending a soothing touch to my weary face. In the shadows that cloaked the edges of the room, a flicker of movement danced at the periphery of my vision. Turning my gaze, I met the unsettling sight of an eye, an orb of darkness that peered at me through the narrow slit of the partially open door. A gasp escaped my lips, a reflexive cry that mingled with the surge of fear coursing through my veins. The world around me tilted, and in my drunken stupor, I lost my footing, crumpling to the floor like a marionette with severed strings. Determined to confront the interloper, I found my feet once more, my resolve casting aside the haze that clung to my senses. Yet, as I stumbled towards the door, the eye had vanished, leaving behind an empty threshold. The unsettling realization struck. Mike had been downstairs all along, and this intrusion couldn't possibly have been his doing. Summoning my voice, I called out for Mike, his response echoing from the kitchen below. The dissonance between his location and the phenomenon I had encountered pierced through the fog of my thoughts. A shiver danced down my spine as I realized that the eye I had seen couldn't have belonged to Mike. The ascent to the kitchen, a flight of stairs that would have heralded any movement, had remained untouched. The explanation offered by Mike was lost in the haze of the night, my alcohol-laden senses dismissing it as a mere figment of my overactive imagination. Succumbing to the weariness, I sought solace in the guest bedroom, where the warm embrace of the bed awaited. Lulled by the effects of alcohol, slumber claimed me with a swiftness that defied reason. Yet, within the nebulous landscape of dreams, the specter of the night returned, the sensation of an unbearable headache heralding my return to consciousness. The room was a canvas of pre-dawn chill, a reminder of the darkness that still clung to the world beyond the window. My foot dangled over the edge of the bed, a sentinel of vulnerability in the dim light. Then, the unthinkable transpired. A frigid touch enveloped my exposed foot, a sensation that crawled through my veins like ice. A raspy voice whispered, its words a haunting plea that tethered me to the edge of disbelief. The words reverberated, "Can you help me?" The air was thick with the weight of the unknown, an otherworldly presence that encroached upon my sanctuary. Fear surged through me, a primal force that propelled me to a sitting position, the echoes of my own scream mingling with the darkness. My instincts propelled me from the room, my heart pounding against my ribs like a wild creature seeking escape. At the top of the stairs, I was met by Mike, his presence an anchor in the tumultuous sea of my fear. The police were summoned, their arrival casting a net of reassurance over the chaos that had unfolded. The intruder, once a phantom of my fear, was unveiled as a woman in her late 40s, a figure that bore the scars of addiction and desperation. Her presence, as unsettling as it was rooted in a simplicity that defied my initial imaginings. She confessed to her brazen act of entering Mike's abode, seeking shelter within the confines of a closet. The eye that had haunted me had belonged to her, a distorted visage that had invaded my privacy from the sanctuary of the bathroom. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place, unraveling the enigma that had haunted me through the night. As the events found resolution, the tendrils of fear began to dissipate, their grip loosening with the knowledge that the unknown had been demystified. The night would forever remain a tapestry woven with threads of suspense, a testament to the fragility of our perceptions and the eerie dance between reality and imagination. The room that had held me captive would transform into a realm of caution, a space where vulnerability would find its guardian in the folds of sheets carefully drawn over feet, protecting against the enigmatic embrace of the night. Amidst the frozen grip of winter, a tale of suspense and unsettling events unfolded, shrouded in the chilly embrace of a blizzard. In the realm of South Lake Tahoe, Kali, a group of companions and I embarked on a skiing trip that would forever be etched in my memory. Our destination was a magnificent log cabin, a luxurious retreat nestled within the snow-laden landscape. The cabin exuded opulence, a haven designed to shield us from the elements while granting us respite from the treacherous cold. For a few nights, the walls of timber cradled us, cocooning us in warmth as we reveled in the thrill of the snowy landscape. Yet, as the third night descended upon us, a sense of unease stirred within the chambers of our temporary refuge. It was during the witching hour, when the world lay hushed in slumber, that I found myself roused from my dreams by the thirst that only water could quench. My journey across the cabin was a solitary one, the beams of moonlight filtering through the frost-laden windows casting an ethereal glow upon the surroundings. However, as I traversed the cabin's interior and approached the kitchen, an unexpected intrusion shattered the silence. An urgent and frantic knock reverberated through the wooden walls, a disturbance that rippled through my senses like a sudden gust of wind. The unsettling thought that someone would be seeking entry during a blizzard clawed at my thoughts, and for a fleeting moment, I contemplated ignoring the intrusion. Yet, the gnawing curiosity within me prevailed. Our presence was known to the world, evident from my car parked just outside, its metallic form a silent sentinel in the midst of the storm. Perhaps, I mused, there was someone out there in dire need of shelter, seeking refuge from the relentless winter's fury. With cautious steps, I approached the door, my apprehension mingling with the sense of responsibility. A whispered voice within me urged me to venture forth and provide aid, while the rational part of my mind whispered caution. As my hand hovered over the doorknob, the booming knock once again shattered the silence. "Who is it?" I called out, my voice betraying a mixture of curiosity and trepidation. No response came, a chilling void echoing in place of words. The intensity of the storm outside seemed to parallel the uncertainty that clouded my thoughts. Undeterred, I raised my voice, the urgency woven into my words. "Who's there?" The silence stretched, punctuated only by the haunting creaks of the cabin's wooden frame under the onslaught of the blizzard. The knocking persisted, each reverberation clawing at my nerves. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the knocking ceased, leaving me in a vacuum of anticipation. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, I cautiously unlatched the chain lock, the door creaking open just enough to allow a partial view of the outside. The moonlight cast elongated shadows across the snow-covered ground, and in the narrow gap, I discerned no one. An empty expanse of snow stretched before me, a silent testament to the emptiness that pervaded the scene. Summoning courage from the depths of my being, I stepped outside, my boots crunching against the snow. The footprints, a tangible connection to the enigma that had unfolded, guided my path. A blend of concern, guilt, and an unexplainable sense of foreboding spurred me onward. The trail of footprints led me to the edge of the property, the muffled crunch of snow underfoot underscoring my solitude. And then, with a surreal abruptness, the footprints ceased, vanished, as if the very ground had swallowed them whole. No sign of struggle, no imprint of a vehicle's passage, just a void where the footprints should have continued. An eerie unease crawled up my spine, a sensation that nipped at my resolve. I hurried back to the cabin, the allure of safety pulling me towards the sanctuary within. I slammed the door shut behind me, the reverberations of the impact echoing through the room like a grim reminder of the enigma outside. The cabin's walls provided a semblance of security, yet my thoughts remained haunted by the inexplicable events that had transpired. A symphony of frantic knocks resumed, the sound ricocheting through the air, its echoes mirroring the staccato beats of my racing heart. Panic threatened to engulf me, and I shrieked for my friends, my voice a desperate plea for salvation. One by one, my friends rushed to the scene, their bewildered expressions reflecting the turmoil that churned within me. As we swung the door open, our collective breaths held in anticipation, we were met with a sight that defied reason. Empty space greeted us, the footprints dissolved by the relentless snow. The world around us seemed to hold its breath, a testament to the inexplicable nature of the events. An air of disbelief hung heavy as my companions cast skeptical glances my way. The footprints, the frantic knocking, they all vanished, leaving behind nothing but questions and a lingering unease. My words were met with incredulity, doubt clawing at the edges of the collective consciousness. The skepticism etched into my friends' expressions mirrored the internal struggle I waged within myself. Yet, through it all, I remained steadfast in the knowledge that the inexplicable had unfolded before my very eyes. The passage of time has not dulled the memory of that chilling night. It stands as a testament to the unknown, a reminder that even amidst the camaraderie of friends and the sanctuary of luxury, the world can still harbor enigmas that defy explanation. The footsteps in the snow, the frantic knocking, they live on as echoes of the unexplainable, their riddles left to be unraveled in the cold winds of a winter's night. Amidst the expanse of winter, a plan was hatched. My friend and I were to embark on a journey to a distant party, a spectacle of festivities that promised mirth and camaraderie. In preparation, we decided to nestle into the embrace of her family's holiday abode, a haven of solitude located an hour to the south of our celebratory destination. It was a picturesque setting, a quaint town draped in the quiet solitude of the season. We arrived in the middle of the afternoon, the hush of winter casting its spell upon the area. The streets were devoid of life, empty of the bustle that usually accompanied the holiday season. A lone car stood as a sentinel on the street, the only testament to our presence in the otherwise vacant expanse. The day passed in the hush of winter, the stillness surrounding us like a gentle embrace. As evening unfurled its tapestry, our attention turned towards the impending party. A decision lingered, whether to secure the gate fully or allow it to stand ajar. Memories of the gate's resistance upon our arrival swirled in my mind, and a hesitant decision was made. The gate would be shut, a barrier erected for our sense of security. The party itself was a whirlwind of enjoyment, hours lost in the rhythm of music and laughter. It wasn't until the clock struck midnight that we returned to the holiday house, our spirits high from the revelry. Yet, as we pulled up to the gate, a sense of unease clawed at my senses. The gate was open, its barriers breached. Dread descended, a shiver of apprehension that played havoc with my thoughts. I knew with certainty that I had secured the gate before we left, and logic dismissed the possibility of it being blown open by the wind. A quiet unease settled between us, but I brushed it aside, unwilling to acknowledge the tendrils of fear that gripped me. We entered the house, the warm glow of the lights offering a semblance of comfort. Our journey through the home was marred by an eerie realization. My friend had heard someone. Footsteps echoing outside. Anxiety twisted in the pit of my stomach, a sense of vulnerability that I struggled to suppress. Our attempts to reassure ourselves were met with little success. The absence of cell reception, the isolation, they all weighed heavily upon us. As time waned, the tension escalated. We huddled together in the hallway, our unease palpable in the very air we breathed. It was then that the sound that had plagued my friend's senses permeated the quiet, footsteps outside. The creaking of a door. Panic swelled, and our resolve crumbled, replaced by the guttural grip of fear. With shared trepidation, we formulated a plan: escape. We gathered our belongings, our movements fraught with urgency. The realization that our cell phones remained futile in our grasp cast a shadow over our chances of summoning help. As we neared the front door, a sensation of foreboding clung to the air, our instincts screaming at us to leave, to escape the tendrils of danger that seemed to tighten with every passing moment. A sudden cacophony shattered the stillness, a symphony of avian cries that spiraled into the night. The noise pierced the air, discordant and jarring, a chilling accompaniment to the unfolding events. Fear swelled within us, and with hearts racing, we abandoned all caution, fleeing towards the safety of the car. The world outside was a blur, the urgency propelling us towards the vehicle that stood as our sanctuary. Our belongings were strewn across our laps, abandoned in our haste. The echoes of footsteps and the chaos of the avian chorus served as a chilling backdrop to our escape, a haunting reminder of the events that unfolded behind us. The car roared to life, our frantic movements a testament to the terror that gripped us. The holiday house receded, its presence like a shadow that clung to our memories. As we reversed, the sight that met us was chilling. A figure running alongside the house, an indistinguishable silhouette that seemed to fuel the fear that had enveloped us. We sped away, the distance from that place a reassurance that we had escaped its enigmatic grasp. Our journey home was a haze of tension, the events replaying in our minds with every mile. Sleep eluded us that night, a haunting sense of vulnerability persisting in the quiet of the early morning hours. The passage of time has done little to dull the visceral memory of that night, the events etched in our minds like a sinister masterpiece. The memory of footsteps, the mysterious gate, and the unsettling sounds linger, a testament to the inexplicable that can unravel amidst the stillness of a winter's night. When I was merely 10 years old, and my youngest sibling, Ben, was a mere infant of 1, a sequence of unsettling events would forever be etched into my memory. It was a particular weekend when the canvas of our home was splashed with fresh paint. The colors of change ushered into our abode as my parents undertook the task of repainting our bedrooms. The outcome of this transformation meant that my domain was temporarily disrupted, and I, along with Ben, found ourselves exiled to the basement. The basement held a curious dichotomy of emotions for me. The unfamiliarity of its darkness was like a blanket of discomfort, wrapping around my senses and causing a sense of unease. Yet, paradoxically, the fact that Ben's crib was down there lent a modicum of security to the place. With him beside me, the cavernous expanse felt just a touch less ominous. It was in one of those nights that the rhythm of slumber was disrupted by Ben's cries. At the tender age of 10, the murkiness of the basement posed a challenge to my bravery, but the presence of my infant brother somehow made the ordeal a little more bearable. His cries in the stillness of the night seemed to lend a hint of comfort to my otherwise unsettling surroundings. However, on a particular night, a symphony of cries escalated into a crescendo of screams. My heart raced, terror quickening my pulse as I vaulted out of bed, propelled by a potent mixture of concern and fear. Rushing to Ben's side, my gaze met his tiny finger pointed at something just beyond his crib, something my eyes struggled to discern in the inky blackness. A chill of dread coursed through my veins as my gaze followed the trajectory of his pointing finger. He was directing my attention to the very heart of darkness, to the entrance of the pitch-black boiler room that stood sentinel beside his crib. A sense of malevolence seemed to emanate from that inky void, piercing my soul with an intangible sense of foreboding. My senses strained, honed by the urgency of the moment. I was met with a sound, a faint reverberation, the echo of something falling within the confines of the boiler room. An otherworldly weight settled upon my shoulders, the oppressive feeling of being watched that sent shivers down my spine. The sensation was palpable, an almost tangible presence that seemed to envelop the basement in an aura of dread. The air itself felt charged with an unsettling energy, an inexplicable heaviness that seemed to throb with every heartbeat. In that very moment, it felt as if 1,000 piercing eyes were trained upon me, the weight of an unseen gaze that chilled me to the core. Instinct kicked in, a primal urge to protect Ben from whatever ominous force might lurk within the shadows. My arms enveloped him in a protective cocoon, my heart a drumbeat of fear as I made my escape from that pitch-black domain. Every step felt like an eternity, a desperate rush towards the sanctuary of light and safety. Emerging from the basement, my breath came in ragged gasps, my heart still racing from the ordeal. The echoes of Ben's screams still resonated within me, the sound of a 1-year-old thrust into a world of terror that should have been far beyond his comprehension. In my arms, he clung to me, his fingers clutching at my clothing as if seeking refuge from the unknown. The basement remained forever tainted by that encounter. An indescribable unease took root within me, an instinctual aversion that defied explanation. The memory of that night lingered, a lingering shadow in the recesses of my mind, a testament to the inexplicable and the unfathomable that can infiltrate even the seemingly familiar corners of our lives. From that point onward, the basement remained a forbidden domain, an untouched realm forever haunted by that one night of terror.